Eloheinu, Yahuwah, Eloheinu Achad, Shema Yisrael, Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah.
All right. Shalom. Shalom. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mattiyahu. You're Endtime Watchmen, as you see at the bottom of the screen right there. Welcome. Thank you guys for joining me. Hope you guys are having a blessed week. I understand that we live in some pretty vexing times. We do the best that we can. We trust in Yahusha. All right. Rock and roll. Glad you guys are here. Thank you. Welcome to everybody that's new. You know what I mean? Glad you guys found our little channel here. We talk about the truth, about Yahusha, the scriptures, that contains his name, his feasts, his commandments, his Sabbaths, all of that, you know what I mean? That's what we talk about over here. Some people call it the Hebrew roots. I'm not really into that madness, but I'm definitely into the truth about Yahusha, our Messiah, our Mashiach, our creator of the universe. All right, guys. Make sure you guys leave a thumbs up and comment in the comment section. I much appreciate it. Share this video. I would much appreciate if you guys do that. Like I said, subscriptions don't mean a whole lot. I'm not really in for attention anyways. I just wish that you guys would share this video so that way we can get the message out there. Also, the likes and the comments get these videos out in the algorithm and, well, trying to get this out there. All right, so today I'm going to talk about living in the world as opposed by indulging in the world, okay? So there's this big misunderstanding. A lot of people say, you're living in the world, man. Like, if you wear a certain baseball cap or a certain t-shirt or a certain pair of shoes, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, you're living in the world, man. And it's like, listen, dude, I'm who I am. My name's Matt, you know what I mean? And I love Yahusha. And yes, I live in the world because this is the only world that there is. The only one that I'm aware of. I don't know about you guys, but it's the only world that I'm aware of. So this is the world that Yahusha's he's come to before and been to many times, is coming back again. This is the one. So I think when we say living in the world, we need to be a little bit more specific. So I've heard some specifics, and I just disagree, and this is just my opinion on the matter. When it comes to work and sports and entertainment and all this stuff, people are like, all of it's evil, all of it's demonic, don't do it, you're a slave, yada, yada, yada. No, none of that is true, okay? I'm not saying that some of the stuff isn't raw in nature. Absolutely. But living in the world, you have to live in the world. This is the only world that we live in. Now, indulging in the world, we'll talk about that. I think that's a better terminology, indulging in the world. So, you have to work for a living. Everybody's got to work for a living, all right? If you want to eat, you got to work. That's what the scripture says, okay? That's not me. That's scripture saying that. People go shopping. There's nothing wrong with that. We all go shopping. We have to go shopping. I live in a concrete jungle. I have to go shopping. I don't live on a farm no more. I can't farm my own stuff. There's nowhere to farm. I have to go to a store. It's not a sin. I'm not a slave. That's ridiculous. Maybe you're a slave. I ain't no slave. Clothes. A lot of us wear whatever kind of clothes. Quit letting people get on you about what you wear. The bills. Everybody got to pay bills. Don't let anybody tell you can't pay your bills or you shouldn't pay your bills or just Yahusha's going to magically pay your bills. No, that's not true. There's nothing wrong with watching sports, entertainment, music, cars, house. There's nothing wrong with these things, guys. There's nothing wrong with having nice things. It's when we start to make them into idols or they become the focal point of our lives and we become disobedient if we're believers of Yahusha. We can't let these things become the mainstay. I'll give you an example. I was into sports a lot, so I had a room that was dedicated to Chicago sports. Bulls, Bears, Blackhawks, Cubs, all Chicago stuff. It became an idol. So I got rid of all that stuff. I don't have none of that stuff no more. You might see this behind me. This is my wall for Yahusha. You know what I mean? But nobody sees it's just me. It's not an idol, though. There's no images. It's just his name. Sunday is not the Sabbath. Torah, it's everywhere you're going to be. His 10 words. But you always want the 10 words, his 10 commandments. The feast, you know, well, we worship what we know. Yahuwah, Yahusha, for deliverance of the Yahudim. Google Yahusha. My name is Yahusha. I am your deliverer. Turning aside to mishaps. You know, I have all kinds of cool stuff on this wall behind me. This is just for the show, my show wall. Like I said, we don't want to become disobedient, okay? So if you work for certain companies that are considered to be, you know, evil corporations, as they say, don't listen to that kind of madness, dude. You got to have a job. You got to work for a living. Me personally, I work for Amazon. Amazon's pretty evil from what I hear, but I don't care. I have to work for a living, guys. I mean, what do you guys want me to do? Not have food in my stomach and a roof over my head? How am I going to take care of Yasha if I can't feed him? I trust Yahusha gives me everything that I need. I asked him to give me a good job, and he gave me a great job. I asked him to give me a roof over my head, and he provided me. But I went and worked for it. He gave me the opportunity and the chance to get the things that I have. He didn't just magically just give to me just because I asked. Yes, I asked, and yes, he wanted to provide for me, but I had to go out and go get it. I had to make it happen. There's nothing wrong with having a job and working for a living. Working for a living. There's nothing wrong with that. The scriptures clearly say a man must work for his keep. Also, it says a man is worth his hire. One of the punishments from the garden was we will work the soil of the earth. And once again, a man who does not work does not eat. A man who does not work does not eat. There's nothing wrong with watching sports or entertainment or listening to music or having cars and a house. It is when you take these things and let it become the center of your universe instead of Yahusha and his commandments. Now, we see this happen today with so many of these televangelists and YouTubers who take advantage of mammon, or money, and become seduced by it. The money isn't evil, it's the love of money that corrupts, not a piece of paper. Money is a tool. Think of it like a hammer. Here, this is a tool that I use. This is a little spray bottle. You want to know what this tool is for? When my dog acts up, he gets sprayed in the face. He don't like it. He can't stand it. It's a tool. Money is a tool. Remember, when these people first started, they were humble. They were humble men. But look what happens when you indulge in the world. Not live in the world. Indulge in the world. We all have to live in this world, but we do not have to indulge in this world. Okay? Of course, I believe that Yahusha will give you what you ask for within reason and everything you need to survive, but that does not mean you do not have to work or do not have to do anything to maintain a lifestyle. There are so many beautiful and wonderful things about this world, but I hear so many people say you can't live in this world. Well, this is the only world that I know of, that I'm aware of anyways. I work for a living and I live in this world. I pay my bills and I do what I have to do in order to survive in this world. That does not mean we are slaves or mindless zombies. Most of us have a family. Some of us have children. And most of us have bills that we have to pay. If you want to teach the world of Yahusha, that is also fine, but you do not need to ask money from people for a ministry. You can simply work a job, and there are many programs on the internet for free to spread his word. You don't need to take money and ask people for money. I think it is dangerous to tell people not to work or to not do their fair share in this world, especially in this country we live in called America. If we all didn't work together in this country, we would not have a country. We should look at our job and the money that we make as a blessing from Yahuwah, not something evil or conspiratorial. If Yahuwah blesses you and you don't have to work and do certain things to make money for a living, then that is awesome. But the majority of the people that live in this country and live in this world have to work, and that does not mean that they are evil or part of the world, as in the scripture, as it states, we are not to be in this world or of this world. And that means disobedience. Just because you have a job doesn't mean you're disobedient to Torah. There is nothing wrong with making money. You just can't make it an idol and worship it. Now, in closing, I just want to say, yes, we have to live in this world because, first of all, this is the only world that we know of and that we live in, that I'm aware of. So, yes, we have to live in this world, and yes, we have to work for a living, and yes, we see all these things in the world, but there are a lot of good things in this world to look at and to do and to be a part of. And just stay away from anything that is or would break the Torah or commandments. Very simple. The scriptures clearly tell us how to live in this world and not to sin and be obedient. So if you feel it necessary to quit your job and leave everything you have and just trust in Yahushua for all your needs and never worry about what's coming next, I would personally say that is a fool's errand. The idea, that is, not the person per se, but the idea is foolishness. And I would quote Proverbs chapter 20, verse 21. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 21. That's all I got to say on that matter, guys. Thank you guys for joining me. I love you guys so much. Make sure you guys catch me every Friday. I go live 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for my Shabbat Talks. That's every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I go live for my Shabbat Talks. You guys can chat with me live in the chat, or I'll put a link out sometimes and we can actually chat face-to-face. If you guys want to come on. Go to my community section of my YouTube page. I'm usually throwing stuff out there for you guys to answer. I usually throw some polls out there or videos that I put out during the week. Oh, my dog found his squeaky toy. So anyways, listen, I love you guys with all my heart. Hold on a sec. I'll give it right back to you. I love you guys with all my heart. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Like I said, I'm not trying to pick on anybody personally. This isn't about like any personal vendetta or anything. It's just a thought that came to my mind, stuff that I've heard on the internet, stuff that I've seen on the internet, on websites, blogs, even stuff that I've heard in the streets, you know. And I just think that it's kind of interesting how people say, you don't have to do anything, that Yahushua will provide everything. I think he will provide. But it doesn't mean that he doesn't provide you with a job and the way to make funds and to make money, and that you can't have nice things in life. You can have nice things, just can't let it go to your head and all that jazz, and make it an idol and all that. That's what you do not want to do. So listen, I love you guys with all my heart. Thank you guys for joining me. You guys know how it is at the end of all my videos. I love to say, and please say it with me, run to Yahushua.